Pride Kindness. Today we're going to be talking about mental health and Warrior Pride Kindness. This is presented by Ms. Donnelly and Mrs. Urbanski, the two mental health specialists. Hello, I'm Ms. Donnelly. My office is located right next to the auxiliary gym in B136. Mrs. Urbanski's office is located in B134, right next to the auxiliary gym. Today we're going to talk about how resilient you all have been in overcoming the various challenges the pandemic brought on in your lives and in other lives, and the return to school. We want to remind you to always show kindness towards others. We also want to remember that we should be empathetic and understanding towards our peers. We never know what someone else is going through, and it's always good to be understanding and empathetic to what their situations may be. During this transition, too, it's also important to explore things outside of your comfort zone. It may take some time to get back into the routine and the swing of things and transition back to school. However, exploring things outside of your comfort zone may bring you new friends, new hobbies, and new activities you may enjoy. Always remember to have fun and to enjoy yourself as well.
I'd say, as a goal in life, you could do worse than try to be kinder. In 7th grade, this new kid joined our class. In the interest of confidentiality, her name will be Ellen. Ellen was small, shy. She wore these blue cat's eye glasses that at the time only old ladies wore. When nervous, which was pretty much always, she had a habit of taking a strand of hair into her mouth and chewing on it. So she came to our school and our neighborhood and was mostly ignored, occasionally teased, "Your hair tastes good," that sort of thing. I could see this hurt her. I still remember the way she'd look after such an insult, eyes cast down, a little gut kicked, as if, having just been reminded of her place in things, she was trying as much as possible to disappear. After a while, she'd drift away, hair strands still in her mouth. Sometimes I'd see her hanging around alone in her front yard as if afraid to leave it. And then she moved. That was it. One day she was there, next day she wasn't. End of story. Now, why do I regret that? Why, 42 years later, am I still thinking about it? Relative to most of the other kids, I was actually pretty nice to her. I never said an unkind word to her. In fact, I sometimes even mildly defended her. But still, it bothers me. What I regret most in my life are failures of kindness. Those moments when another human being was there in front of me, suffering, and I responded sensibly, reservedly, mildly. Or to look at it from the other end of the telescope, who in your life do you remember most fondly, with the most undeniable feelings of warmth? Those who were kindest to you, I bet. But kindness, it turns out, is hard. It starts out all rainbows and puppy dogs.
Your friends are some of the most important people in your life during high school. It's also important to recognize if a friend is struggling. Here are various signs that indicate a friend may be struggling with mental health concerns. They may be unable to handle stress, have difficulty maintaining a healthy appetite, or experiencing significant weight loss, using drugs or alcohol to cope, engaging in risk-taking behaviors, unable to focus, having trouble in school, experiencing problems in relationships. These can be issues within a family or with friends as well, appearing tired more often, expressing a lack of interest in activities that once brought them enjoyment, having panic attacks, being fearful around others, mistrusting of people they normally confide in or counted on, sharing a sense of guilt or unworthiness, saying things like, I don't deserve something, exhibiting restlessness or agitation, showing anger and having violent outbursts, perhaps it looks like crying often, self-harming or expressing suicide ideation. Here are some statistics of mental health and some key facts to consider. 1 in 6 people are aged 10 to 19 years old. Mental health conditions account for 16% of the global burden of disease and injury in people aged 10 to 19 years old. Half of all mental health conditions start by 14 years of age, but most cases are undetected and untreated. Globally, depression is one of the leading causes of illness and disability among adolescents. Suicide is the 4th leading cause of death in 15 to 19-year-olds. The consequences of not addressing adolescent mental health conditions extend to adulthood, impairing both physical and mental health, and limiting opportunities to leading fulfilling lives as adults. So imagine your friend group, your sports team or club, even your class. 1 in 6 have a diagnosed mental health condition. Although that is the general number, the statistic is over a year old, and it is currently estimated by the CDC that 1 in 3 teens suffer from some type of anxiety. The number increased so drastically due to the pandemic, which created more unknowns, isolation, and increased social media usage. So who can help you in school? Your wonderful teachers will likely be your first point of contact, as you will build relationships with them throughout the entire school year. We also have our wonderful school counselors, Mrs. Hartson, Mr. Howard, Mr. Rominsky, Mr. Peck, Mrs. Henning, and Mrs. Dackery. They can be found in the counseling office next to the main office near the main entrance. The fabulous administrators, Dr. Kokenhauer, Mr. Bontempo, Mr. Smink, and Dr. Gravenese. We also have Officer Valdez and his security team. Our school resource officer is especially important if it is a safety concern. The security team will also be posted throughout the entire school. We also have the mental health team, which our offices are in the gym hallway. However, today we will be in C149 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. if you'd like to stop in and say hello, or if at any point you are feeling overwhelmed. There's also the nurse's office, Mrs. Pfeiffer and Ms. Thompson, located in the nurse's office, which is on the first floor west wing. Take a moment now to think about who you may go to if you need help. So what are some ways that you can help? Be kind. It does matter. If you see someone struggling, withdrawing, or eating alone, a small act of kindness may be the difference, and maybe even open up a door for a friendship. Be a supportive friend. Get help. If your friend is struggling and they need help, please encourage them to reach out to an adult, or tell a trusted adult that your friend needs help. Think back to the last slide. Report bullying. If you see bullying, report it to your grade level principal, or to the nearest trusted adult. SAP, which is a student assistance program. Make a SAP referral if you prefer to remain anonymous. This can be done online or via forms found outside the nurse's office and in classrooms. Safe to Say, or report it to Safe to Say if it is a safety concern. Don't hesitate to get help and be kind. It could make the difference. Here are additional resources that can be found throughout the community. There is the Access Children's Crisis Support, Teen Talk Line, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, the Montgomery County Mobile Crisis, and the Peer Support Talk Line throughout the community that can be valuable resources. There are also many different apps for teens to use for mental health. Here are some broken down by categories between mindfulness and meditation and behavioral and habit aids.